So that would be, first of all, the ceasefire talks between Russia and Ukraine. We've seen some movement on the price on the back of announcements that um, this one of the routes where Russian flows went through Ukraine. One of those routes was actually sabotaged last week. That report was unconfirmed, but the price moved quite a bit. So that gave us a sense that there perhaps is some of that risk factored into the pricing at the moment. So talking more about the fundamentals. European gas storage is going to be roughly 30% full by the end of March. So just next week, it'll be around 30% full. That is roughly 20, yeah, that's almost 20% below what it was the same time last year. So there is a wider reinjection gap for the summer, that is for sure. And fundamentally speaking, we should be outbidding Asian buyers for a portion of that LNG, just given that only about 2/3 of Europe's LNG is long-term contracted. We always have to compete on pricing with for those spare cargoes. But that said, we've seen signs that Chinese LNG demand is not going to grow, or may not grow as analysts have anticipated. Roughly speaking, according to our analysis, we think Europe will import roughly 130 BCM of LNG, including Russian LNG, which you put that into the geopolitical mix as well. But considering that is roughly that increase is almost 25% upside this year. But at the same time, China was expected to grow roughly 5 to 6% on imports. But in February, LNG imports in China actually went down by double digits year over year. And that's because the power of Siberia, so Gazprom's pipeline, is running at full capacity towards China now. Not domestic gas demand has increased in China as well. And also demand hasn't picked up as expected. So all of these factors sort of point towards lower gas prices, and I don't think it's wild to say that they could go below 30, although it sounds like it versus the read that we have now. But that's based on the fact that we expect the global LNG supply pool, let's say towards the end of this year, to widen by about 4 to 5%. And I'm not trying to steal Talon's thunder on this, because we used some of his analysis for this as well.